First of all, I would like to say that the conversation has to remain on poverty. That's what we were commissioned to do in this task force. It is not about chicken. It's about the over close to 700,000 people that we have in the state of Colorado that are living in poverty or below the poverty level. So that's what I think we should be focusing on.
At what point in that meeting did you kind of go, I have to stand up and say something here?
Well, once again, that is a conversation that perhaps Senator Marble and myself should have, because I was highly offended by the things that she said. And so what I want to do is to have that conversation with her versus having it today.
Has she reached out to you?
No, she has not.
Are you going to reach out to her to maybe have that conversation?
I'll probably wait until our next committee meeting, or if she calls, I will respond to her call, but.
She rattled off a great many things in her comments, and I'm wondering, was this more an issue of phrasing? I mean, if she wanted to talk about nutrition in different ethnic communities, could she have done that? I mean, was it more of just kind of the way it came out, the way it was presented?
Right. What her comments have done is given us a wonderful opportunity to really put a spotlight on people who are hurting in our state. It gives us an opportunity to talk about poverty. In my district alone, I have over 70% of my people in my district are living in poverty. I just want to make sure that kids get a fresh start and a great start to a great education. And so I think that's what the focus should be, not on chicken, but on how we can make sure that every kid gets a great education.
What kind of things is this task force actually designed to do? What are the areas you want to look into to address the problem?
Yeah, basically we're looking at ways that we can involve the business community, the faith community, our schools, to address the issues as it relates to economic development and poverty reduction. I mean, we're rebounding from our economy, but there's still far too many people who are looking for jobs. I mean, there's a lot of people who are homeless, and there's many people who are looking for meaningful work.
Yesterday on Twitter, you had kind of had a conversation with Joe Salazar about having a community meeting. Is that something you guys are discussing?
Yeah, I have had a conversation with Representative Salazar, and we are looking at trying to host some kind of event to deal with race in our state and in our nation. So I'm looking forward to having that kind of dialogue.
What kind of things do you plan on talking about or addressing?
We're just in the planning stages right now. But on a national level, since the Trayvon Martin case, there's a lot of issues that probably need to be elevated as it relates to race.
Representative Fields, I'm unclear. Why did you call this press conference? What was the point you were trying to make? It's different than the points you've made earlier this week.
Right. I did not call the press conference. People were trying to get my reaction to what happened and what was said. So I did not call the press conference. I got individual requests from so many people to be here to respond to some of the comments that Senator Marble made. So I'm just trying to be responsive to the requests that were made of me.
What was your response to seeing how fast this grew yesterday after the meeting?
Like I said before, I think it's a great opportunity for us to talk about poverty, because in many campaigns you don't see people really talking about poor people. So it's a great opportunity for us to talk about what it's like to be poor. I mean, the face of poverty has really changed. When people lose their jobs or their homes go into foreclosure, poverty doesn't look like it used to look, let's say 10 years or 5 years from now. So I'm interested in coming up with some meaningful solutions to help people get back into middle class who have fallen into some hard times.
You seemed fairly shocked to hear a fellow legislator make the comments that were made on Wednesday. Right. And what does that say about where the discussion on race is?
What was shocking is the generalization, the stereotype, the blatant stereotypes, making comments that black people have a problem, that Latino people have a problem. And, black people don't have a problem with being black, and Latino people don't have a problem with being black, and it's not associated with chicken. And being black is not associated with just because someone is a diabetic or someone who has sickle cell anemia. Sickle cell anemia is a genetic blood disorder, and it has nothing to do with, this general blanket statement that she was trying to put all black people in. So I was extremely alarmed by the stereotypes that she was using. I felt like it was inappropriate because we're all there to talk about poverty reduction. And in my view, we weren't talking about food and nutrition. We were talking about people who are losing ground in our state because they're poor.
Isn't talking about the factors that lead to poverty, be it nutrition, diet, or some
Yeah.
sectors, or, I mean, I don't understand how her mentioning that African Americans have a higher level of sickle cell anemia than I don't understand how that's racist. Maybe I'm missing the point.
Right. The conversation was not about food. I mean, it was off topic. It was off topic. And whenever you say things like black people have a problem, to me that is offensive, and I believe it was inappropriate. And then she threw in some other connotations as it related to food. So I did not appreciate those comments, and I wanted to elevate the conversation and talk about people that are poor in our state, because it's not just black people who are poor. It's not just Latino people are poor. I mean, we have close to 700,000 people in the state of Colorado who are living in poverty, all races. And it's not about race. It's about really having access to a quality education and jobs.
One of Marble's good friends said that she was addressing the topic, which was about life expectancy, that there was a huge chart with rates, up there, and that blacks and Latinos had a lower life expectancy, and that she was trying to discuss why. Is it nutrition? Is it that? I mean,
Yeah.
he said what she said was wrong, but that, quote, she doesn't have a racist bone in her body. Would you agree with that?
I don't know her that well. I can tell you I was very offended by her comments, and I felt like they were inappropriate. And I believe as elected officials that we need to represent all of the people that put us in office. It doesn't matter if they're black or Latino, it doesn't matter what they eat. I think we need to be respectful of all races, and we need to celebrate diversity.
One more, please.
Her statement yesterday, it was kind of an apology, but more sounded like maybe she was had been misunderstood. Did you get a chance to see the statement she raised?
I have not, and so, when I see Senator Marble, I will have a conversation with her and explain why I was offended by her comments.
When you say when you see her, does that mean in the committee, or are you going to arrange to meet with her a half hour before the next committee meeting starts, or how are you going to do this when I see her?
I'm not going to make any concerted effort to arrange any private time or any meeting. When I see her, I will address it if it comes up, or if she finds a need to have it clarified a little bit more.
Do you think she should apologize?
I'm not asking for an apology.
She said one isn't needed, one isn't required from her.
Thank you.